Let's walk the line. We're talking prop bets for UFC 311. And as I stated in my last video, I'm rocking the Arman Tsarukyan hairdo all the way up to fight night. Okay, hopefully it'll give Tsarukyan some good luck. We're rocking the Beetle Roach, Justin Bieber style hair. And it ain't going nowhere. We ain't chopping it off, boys. All right, this is going to be a good one. I'm going to give you 3 prop bets that you want to keep an eye on for the UFC 311 fight card. It could be over-unders. It could be specific method of victory, all that type of stuff. There's 3 of them that caught my eye, so I'm going to give them out to you guys. If you like this type of content, please let me know by smashing that like button, subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to me, guys. I really appreciate how many likes I've been getting in some of my previous videos. I know you guys are really looking out for me, so thank you guys so much for that. And if anyone's looking to sign up to a new sports book, as always, I have a special offer on the table. Sign up through my referral link. Not only will you get a 150% match on your first 3 deposits, which is crazy, I'm also going to give you an additional gift, right? That additional gift can be used for the UFC 311 fight card, all right? So take advantage of that. Just shoot me an email if you're interested, or shoot me a DM on Instagram and Twitter. All right, let's go talk some prop action.
The teller.
The first fight I want to talk about is taking place in the bantamweight division. We have the young phenom Peyton Talbott, who's taken on the once very highly thought of Raoni Barcelos, who's now 37 years old. Now, Talbott has had finishes in 8 of his 9 victories. The only fight that he didn't get a finish in was that fight that took place on DWCS against Reyes Cortez. It's worth noting that Cortez is a very tough fighter, the brother of Tracy Cortez. He's never been finished. And he's been in there with some talented fighters like Christian Rodriguez and whatnot. So it's not easy to get him out of there. From there, Talbott gets the contract and goes into the octagon and continues to do what he does best, which is finishing fights. He's now 3-0 in the UFC. All 3 of them come by way of finish. Like what he did to Yanis Gomori was nasty. Took him just 19 seconds to land that devastating KO. And Peyton Talbott is on fire right now. On the other hand, Raoni Barcelos, like I said, a once very highly thought of fighter. I mean, he's been on the decline, man. He's 37 years old. You could see on tape when you're watching his fights that he has slowed down. There is that hesitancy that I see from him defensively. And I think that when he has those little pauses as he's striking, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for Talbott to land something nasty on him. I really think that it's likely that Talbott can get him out of there. How can we just overlook that knockout loss that he took to Umar Nurmagomedov? That fight took place back in 2023. He was brutally KO'd in the first round. All right, so I'm not forgetting about that. I think it's just going to be one more flush shot that hits him where we see him flatline like that once again. And then you're talking about a fighter in Peyton Talbott who is all that. Now, let's go head over to BetUS, where there's all types of available prop bets for you guys to target. Okay, the one that stands out to me, or I should say the 2 that stand out to me, is Peyton Talbott to get that KO in the first round and in the second round, which the first round's at plus 250. I do like that one a little bit more so. I favor him getting a finish early in this fight. I think that he takes that momentum from his last fight, which he had a knockout in 19 seconds. I think his confidence is going to be crazy right now. I think he's going to come out, shoot out the gates, and he's going to be looking to get a KO in wild fashion right off the rip. So I like the first round KO the most, which is at plus 250. I think that's a fun one. But I also like the second round KO, which is at plus 300. You get a little bit better value there. And the second round is also possible. If Barcelos weathers the storm, he's not going to be out of danger in the second round. Now, once you go to the third round, my confidence in the KO definitely decreases. You can get that at plus 400. But I like rounds 1 and 2 for Peyton Talbott to get a KO, which those are looking pretty juicy there. Let's bump up to the main card. We're talking Jiri Prochazka versus Jamal Hill. All right, this one, I'm not really going to need to explain myself too much. Okay, I think you guys know exactly where I'm going with this. As I'm filming this Wednesday, earlier today, Jamal Hill bumped into Jiri Prochazka at the UFC Apex Center. I thought that was an interesting scenario. Jamal Hill brought a lot of respect to the table. You got to give him credit there. And Jiri Prochazka, I really like the way he was holding himself. I mean, a lot of confidence oozing out of him. And he looks like he's in warrior mode. I mean, this fight is probably my favorite fight on the card. I mean, this is the matchup, man. This is the people's fight. And I think we're going to see a knockout in this fight. And I think that knockout is going to happen in the first round. And I think it can come either way. When Prochazka comes out the gates, he's looking for his finish. He doesn't mind taking that damage. He looks to kind of wear his opposition out by weathering the storm, eating all this damage, and then eventually landing some type of wild strike on them and getting his own knockout. Now, that's either going to play out well for him or it's going to play out horribly for him. Okay, because Jamal Hill, not the most technical fighter, but he does bring in some real athletic traits, and he could start you. He can knock you out. He has heavy hands. He's quick. Now, his footwork's not the best, as a lot of you guys know. He does suffer from Ronald McDonald syndrome. He does trip over those size 17 shoelaces at times. We saw it in the Pereira fight, and that could cost him here too. If he's out of position, there could be a spinning back elbow coming for his dome. And you take a look at his 2 losses, both coming by way of knockout, a little differently though, right? The Pereira knockout was different than the Paul Craig knockout. The Paul Craig knockout was really a submission, right? He had him locked in the triangle. He was dropping those elbows on him and all that. He snapped his arm. That was really a sub, but he still made mistakes in there that ended up costing him to be finished. Prochazka, a fighter that's been knocked out in 3 of his 5 losses. We've seen him make errors in there, but do note it was against a very high level striker in Alex Pereira, but the way he keeps his hands down, you saw it in the Rakic fight, right? Rakic was teeing off on him early. He was able to push through it and eventually finish Rakic up, but he's playing a wild type of style, and it's going to catch up with him on a lot of his fights. It's hard to go out there and fight with that type of style in the light heavyweight division. Hill may get the knockout on him, but again, I think Yuri Prochazka can definitely also get a knockout on Hill. So what are we targeting here? I like the under 1.5 first and foremost, which you can catch out plus 125. I do like the under 1.5 rounds. I think we're going to see a finish in the first round, which let's go head over to BetUS. Take a look at these lines we have here. This is one that I really like. Either fighter winning this fight in the first round, which you can catch at plus 175. All right, that's available on BetUS right now. I like that target. I really do. I think someone's going to get their hand raised by getting a knockout in the first round. They're going to come out, they're going to meet, someone's going to go down. And then the last fight I want to talk about, we have the Bantamweight Championship of the World on the line. Dvalishvili taking on Nurmagomedov. Somebody was bantering with me on Instagram, which, shout out to your boy here. He's verified on IG now, so you guys better watch it. Tyler is doing big things out here. I got the verification badge. But somebody was coming at one of my comments, which is so typical. You guys know how these people are on IG. Someone had the nerve to comment under one of my comments saying, "Oh, you call yourself a fortune teller and you're saying these lame, obvious statements. Anybody could say what you're saying. Well, how are you the MMA fortune teller?" Which, obviously in jest, that I'm the teller, right? But what he was referring to was me calling out that Umar Nurmagomedov is going to finish this fight. Okay, how is that an obvious statement? How can anybody just say that? All right, we're going to get to the lines here in a second, because if you guys haven't seen the lines, the betting lines aren't necessarily in agreement that Nurmagomedov's just going to go out there and knock Dvalishvili out or just get a finish in general. And that's what I have going on here. I think Nurmagomedov is going to find a finish in this fight. I don't believe Dvalishvili is going to have enough success with his grappling. He's not going to be able to replicate what he's been doing in his recent fights, right? The Sean O'Malley fight, I was ecstatic about it. I posted a free official play video about it. We took dog odds on Merab, put major money in my pocket on that fight, major money, okay? I tip my hat to Merab for that performance, but Sean O'Malley isn't the same type of fighter as Nurmagomedov. He doesn't have the takedown defense and grappling. And also, there's been a lot of rumors. Sean O'Malley's spoken about the fact that he had some type of injury where he wasn't able to grapple training leading up to that fight. So take that for what you will. But I also will give credit for the grappling performances that Merab has put on. When you think about what he did to Henry Cejudo, Piotr Yan, I mean, he's picking those dudes up, throwing them around the cage. I just don't see him doing that to Nurmagomedov. And as he looks to go out and do that, I think that he's going to put himself in a position where he's going to be breathing heavily. Yes, he has the best cardio in the game, essentially, but still, you go out there and you're pushing that type of pace and you're getting those takedowns stuffed, okay? You're going to get a little tired, and Nurmagomedov is a threat to cinch up a sub on you. He could submit you as you keep being forced to go for those takedowns. And I think he is going to be forced to go for those takedowns, because as far as the stand-up goes, I think Nurmagomedov's on a whole nother level there. And he's going to be very live to land that KO, and he'll push and force Merab to continue to enter with those takedowns. And I think that's going to be the issue for Merab. He's going to run into some real trouble there. He's going to be like a cornered rat. I shouldn't use that term to describe Merab, because I have a lot of respect for him. Maybe like a cornered mouse. And Umar's going to be the cat. He's going to have him cornered up in the corner of a room. There's nowhere for that mouse to jump up and climb on something. and Umar is going to snatch him up, and he's going to finish him up 5 rounds. Let's take a look at some of these available lines. All right, this is what I like here. Okay, Nurmagomedov to win this fight via knockout is at plus 650. All right, that's where the value is. All right, I really like that line. If you guys want that juicy value type of line, I like that right there. Also, you could take a look at Nurmagomedov to get a submission, which is at plus 375. All right, and if you want to kind of simplify things, we'll scroll down a little bit. We'll take a look at this. The fight to not go the distance is at plus 170, which I'm favoring Nurmagomedov to get that finish. But when you take the fight to not go the distance, if Merab's able to pull something miraculous off, which I just don't see it. I mean, it would have to come by way of some type of submission, maybe like a rear naked choke, something like that. I just don't see it. He's not going to land a big shot. His striking is lower level for a championship fighter, and I just don't see him landing that type of shot. You never know, though. You're still getting that with your play there at plus 170. That's a play I really like. The fight to not go the distance at plus 170. And just to circle back, someone on IG saying anybody could say that, you're just saying some bland stuff. Well, listen, if that happens if what I'm saying happens, we're talking about plus action here that I'm calling out. So put some respect on the teller's name. You got that blue verification and all. Let's go, boys. That's my third play there for you. All right, guys. 3 prop bets for you. All right. I hope you like them. Let me know. Comment below. Are you guys tailing me on these plays? Are you guys fade me on these plays? Let me know what you think. And then also comment below your best prop bet for the card. Or if you want, give us your 3 best prop bets for the card. We always love to see that feedback. I love to see that comment section pumping. I'm always checking the comments, boys. Remember that. I'm always up in the comment section and reading what you guys are talking about. And I like to take into consideration what you guys see on tape as well. So give me some feedback. Please like this video. Go catch me on my social media. Signing out. Teller.
The teller.